Good evening, students. Welcome in next lecture of Math F113 Probability and Statistics. So last time we have taken the idea about moment generating function and the Bernoulli distribution. So with the moment generating function, you can generate any order movement, and Bernoulli distribution is the very first standard discrete random distribution. So in continuous of that, we have the next one. Next standard distribution is the binomial distribution. So, what is the binomial distribution? So here it satisfies the four condition. There are many experiment that confirms either the exactly or approximately to the following list of requirement. Means when we have the random experiment satisfying the these condition. What are the condition? The experiment consists of the sequence of the n smaller experiments. Means we have the experiment in which we have to conduct the n smaller or sub experiments or the sub experiments, where we have to fix the n prior to the prior to the experiment. When we want to conduct the experiment, before that we have to decide how many trials we require. Second one, each trial can result in one of the two possible outcomes, and these possible outcomes we termed as success and failure. We denote it by the capital S and capital A. Means each trial should be Bernoulli in nature. Last time I have given you the idea about the Bernoulli trial. Bernoulli trial means a random experiment in which we have only two possible outcomes. That all Bernoulli trials are independent, so that the outcome of any particular trial does not influence the outcome on any other trial. And probability of the success should be constant, and we denote it by the p. So as we have the Bernoulli trial, so in the Bernoulli trial we have the two outcomes, success and failure. So the probability of the success in each Bernoulli trial must be the small p. So binomial is nothing. It is in this we have the n Bernoulli trial, n independent Bernoulli trial with probability of the success small p. So from here, if you want to define what is the binomial experiment, the n experiment for which condition 1 to 4 are satisfied is called the Bernoulli experiment. So under the Bernoulli experiment, now we have to for what it means understand through the example that what is the Bernoulli experiment means when we are tossing a same coin number of times. So we have the two result only, head and tail, and we are repeating successively and independently n times. So that is the, for example, if you are repeating the same toss or coins three times. So what can be the result? It can be the head head head. It can be head head tail. It can be the head tail head, or it can be the tail tail tail. So when the n is equal to 3, when n is equal to 3, so we repeat the tossing three times again and again. So result possible outcomes can be the head 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 or tail 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 and others. So the sample space under this will be the this one. So we arbitrarily use the S to denote the outcome as a head and F as a outcome for the tail. Means in general we say success and failure. In the same fashion, we have another example, tossing of the thumbtack in time n times, where S denote points up and F denotes point down. So all are the example of the Bernoulli experiment. Now, this Bernoulli experiment is useful whenever we have to do the sampling also. Whenever we have to do the sampling without replacement out of the n population size. Means here we have the population n, and in that we have to take the small sample n without replacement, right? Without replacement. So when we have to do the with sampling through the sampling through the without replacement. So in that case also, either that sample consists the desirable trait or not consist of the desirable trait. So only the two possibilities. So when we have to take the sample from the big population, so we can apply the binomial distribution when that sample size should be the 5% of the total population size, right? Then only you can apply the binomial distribution, because n must be small. So when if we have the population size of the 100 items, and if you want to take the sample at most 5, then only you can apply the binomial distribution. Otherwise you cannot apply the binomial distribution. Then we have to go with the other sampling method. So that is the application of the binomial distribution. So from here,
Sir,
after, yes.
sir, in the last page, can you go to the
Hmm.
last page? Sir, what does dichotomous population mean here?
Dichotomous population means having only the two traits, either acceptable or not acceptable.
Okay.
Sampling means when we are doing the sampling for research, so either the acceptable or not acceptable. So having only the two possible outcomes. That's why the dichotomous. Dichotomous means two.
So, sir, it means like either success or either failure.
Either success or failure. Means here what we have. For example, let we have the 100 items. Right? Let we have the 100 items. Now we are taking the sample of n items. Let's say it is the 4. So out of 4, how many we have the blank dot, and how many we have the filled dot, right? So if you have to find that thing, so either we have the filled dot or blank dot. So that this is the what dichotomous population. And when we are taking the population sample of at most 5%, then we can apply the binomial distribution. Otherwise we cannot apply the binomial distribution.
Sir, hello, sir.
Clear? What is the dichotomous? Having the two traits, that traits we represent by the success and failure. So
Sir, I have
now,
a doubt from that.
yes,
Since
yes.
we selected a specific
Please speak
sample
louder. Your
space,
voice is
let's
not coming.
just a minute.
Please speak louder.
So now it is.
Still not. Your mic is working, but you keep your mic near to you.
So now it is working.
Now it is okay.
Sir, I wanted to ask that if we are selecting the sample space to be n equal to 4, then
Huh?
aren't we changing the probability? Then why does it require to select 5%?
Actually, your observation is correct here. When we take the small sample, actually, when we have this 100 item, so one item you have selected, now we have the 99 item. It means probability is changing, right?
Yes.
Probability is changing. That's why from the big population, at most 5% we are choosing that whatever the sampling you are selecting or you are keeping aside without replacement, you are keeping aside. We are assuming that this sampling will not alter the properties of the population. Actually, here we are taking the n is equal to 100, but it is true for the big item, big number. So we assume that even without replacement, sampling will not alter the characteristic of the population. For that only we take the 5% only.
So what do you mean by altering the characteristic?
Characteristic means trait, means number of the white dot, number of the black dots, that you can say. That will not alter much.
Okay, sir.
Later on I will show you this example. I will show you how you are taking the sample and how you apply the binomial distribution. When I will do the numerical example, at that time I will show you this example, this application.
Okay.
Sir, could you tell what exactly population is like? If number of trials is
For
5%
example,
of what?
you are the food inspector.
Hmm.
You have to check whether there is a adulteration in sweets or not. So we have only the two result: either the adulteration is there or not adulteration is there.
Yes.
So for that, you have not to you have not to check all the sweets of the shop. What generally you have to do? You have to take the one laddu, one barfi, one jalebi, and that only.
Yes, sir.
Whether if it is a adult, then we can say the shopkeeper is doing the cheating. If it is fair, then you can say the shopkeeper is honest.
Hmm.
So when you are taking, right,
Sir, I understood. In that case, I wanted to ask, in this the square with spots or not, that one.
pardon, again, what you are asking?
Sir, this example that you were explaining, sir, the
Huh?
spot, like the population has two states. This square is there and there are circles you have drawn.
Huh?
Sir, what will be population size in that example?
Then population size n is equal to 100 means here we have the 100 items. Here we have the 100 items.
Oh, okay. Okay, then got it, sir.
I have not drawn the 100 things here.
Yes, sir, no, I thought it was only spot. I got it, sir.
So, so that is the application of the binomial distribution. So in most of the binomial experiment, it is total number of success rather than the knowledge of exactly which trial yield the success that is of interest. Means here we define the binomial variate. Here we define the binomial variate that counts the number of successes, number of successes in an independent Bernoulli trials. So that is the our binomial variate. So here the binomial random variable x associated with the binomial experiment. Experiment means satisfy the four properties consisting the n independent Bernoulli trial is defined as x the number of successes among the n trials that we have to count number of the successes. So for example, if I say n is equal to 3, if I say here the experiment is what? Experiment is the binomial experiment. Experiment is binomial experiment. So it satisfies the four properties. Then after we assume that let n is equal to 3. So n is equal to 3. So what will be the sample space? We can have the success, failure, and we have the failure. So from here, if you define the random variable, what is the random variable? It is the numerical mapping of from the sample space. So it can be 0 means no successes. X denote here the x count what? Number of successes. Number of successes. So it can be the 0 when we have the result f f f. It can be 1 when we have the outcome f f s f s f s f f. Then x is equal to 1. It can be the 2 when we have SSF, SFS, and FSS. Then we have the x is equal to 2. It can take x is equal to 3 when we have the success, success, success. So total, how many 8 points we have? So its value is the 1 upon 8, its value is 3 upon 8, its value is 3 upon 8, and here we have the 1 upon 8. Means if you want to write the probability of x is equal to 0, probability of x is equal to 0 means you have to determine the probability of this sample space, and it will come 1 by 8. If you have to determine the probability of x is equal to 1, it means you have to determine the probability of this sample, this event, and it is equal to 3.8. Similarly, probability of x is equal to 2, so it is the probability of this, and it is again the 3 by 8. And if you have to compute the probability of x is equal to 3, so you have to compute the probability of this event, and it is equal to 1 upon 8. Clear? So from here, can we write the closed form of the point probability function or probability mass function, or you can say simply PDF. So one more thing in this, if I say probability of the success is the P. So instead of the 1 by 8, presently I have written 1 by 8 by assuming that success and failure are equally likely. If the success and failure are not equally likely, then it will become the 1 minus P, 1 minus P, 1 minus P. That is the 1 minus P whole cube. Because probability of the failure is 1 minus P, probability of the success is given to you as a P. Similarly, for here, we have the P, 1 minus P square, 1 minus P square. And here we have the, here it will give you P square 1 minus P for the 1 point, right? This is the probability for the 1 point, and this is for the PQ. And here we have the 3 points, such 3 points. So it will become the 3, it will become the 3. So total we have so many points, right? Or probability. So in this case, if we have the sample space like this, sample space S is equal to FF, SFF, FSS, or all S. So we can write the corresponding probabilities like this: 1 minus P, 1 minus P, 1 minus P, or 1 minus P cube, right? For the second one, it is the P into 1 minus P square. For the third one, it will become the P square into 1 minus P. For the fourth one, it is the P cube. So if you want to write in the closed form, so what I can write, probability that x can take the value x, it is equal to P to power x 1 minus P to power 3 minus x. And by the noting, means I'm saying that instead of writing this, if I want to write this, so what is the x formula? It is the P to power x 1 minus P to power n minus x. So where you can check from here that if n is equal to 3, it satisfies the all these 4, right? For the x is equal to 0, for the x is equal to 1, for the x is equal to 2, for the x is equal to 3. But here we have seen, here the coefficients are 3, here the coefficient is 3, here the coefficient is 1, and here the coefficient is 1. So from where it is coming? So we write it as a some constant or some coefficient, and that is nothing, it is the NCX. NCX P to power x 1 minus P to power n minus x for x is equal to 0, 1, 2, 3. So now question arises, from where we have written this NCX. So for that, first we will verify that this is nothing, this is the PDF. So for the PDF, it must satisfy the two conditions, necessary and sufficient condition. So you can see that NCX P to power x 1 minus P to power n minus x for all x is non-negative, right? It is the non-negative. And what is the second formula? Second necessary and sufficient condition, summation for all x of NCX P to power x 1 minus P to power n minus x. So from here, do you have the idea what is the binomial expansion? A plus b to power n. What is the binomial expansion? It is a to power n plus nc1 a to power n minus 1 b plus nc2 a to power n minus 2 b square plus n c n minus 1 a b to power n minus 1 plus b to power n. This is the binomial expansion. It means what is this? This is the summation from summation of ncx, right? A to power x, b to power n minus x, and x vary from 0 to n. So the same thing here we have. So here we have the same thing. It means this is nothing. This is the, or you can say when we are writing the summation of for all x. So x is equal to 0 to n, ncx, p to power x, 1 minus p to power n minus x. So this can be written as p plus 1 minus p to power n, means a plus b to power n. The same thing we have. So this can be written as summation ncx p to power x 1 minus p to power n minus x as a p plus 1 minus p to power n. And what is this bracket? When we cancel this p and p, so 1 to power n, that is the 1. So it satisfies the necessary and sufficient condition. So now onward, you can say probability x is equal to this ncx p to power x 1 minus p to power n minus x for x is equal to 0, 1, 2, n is the PDF. Now you can say it is the PDF because it satisfies the necessary and sufficient condition. So this is the PDF for the binomial variate.
Sir,
Yes.
how does it justify that NCX is a part of fx by summing it to 1?
No, under this only you have verified net. It satisfies the both condition of the PDF.
But it is PDF, but how do we say that NCX is a part of fx?
If you are not writing, then other will not satisfy that both condition. Na? Due to this binomial expansion only, its name is the binomial distribution.
Okay.
For example, in this example, we have seen here we have to multiply the 3, here we have to multiply by the 3, here we have to multiply by 1, right? So from where these are coming, here we have to multiply by the 1. So from here, by observing this cx, if you observe, it is nothing, it is the 3c0, 3cx, means when x is equal to 0, it will become the 3c0. When x is equal to 1, it will become the 3c1. When x is equal to 2, it is the 3c2. When x is equal to 3, it is the 3c3. So it is what? It is 1, it is 3, it is 3, and it is 1. So from here, we have taken the idea of this.
Yes, I got it.
And that we have proved this also. Here we have proved also, verify that it is the density. So for that being a density, it must satisfy the necessary and sufficient condition. So now onward, we can say this is the PDF for the binomial variate, right? So what is that? NCX p to power x 1 minus p to power n minus x, x is equal to 0, 1, 2, dash, 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 up to the n. It is very necessary to write this range. Otherwise, it is wrong. And otherwise, it is 0. Where n is what? Where n is the positive integer and p is what? Probability of the success in the Bernoulli trial. So it lie between 0 and 1 only. Now CDF is what? Accumulation of the probability up to the that point. So we denote it by the capital F and up to that point. So we take the greatest integer. We take the greatest integer. greatest integer, because you know that CDF always be defined from the minus infinity to infinity. But being a discrete random variable, we have to take the greatest integer up to the that point. Means up, if you want to determine the CDF up to that point, so up to that point, whatever the greatest integer, that we have to consider. So x is equal to 0, accumulation of the probability up to that point. So up to that point, we have accumulated from the 0 of the PDF, means NCX p to power x 1 minus p to power n minus x. So generally, we have the binomial table in all books of statistics. Always we have the table of the binomial. From there, we can write directly the CDF. I will show you later on. I will show you how to see the table. And if you see pictorially, so this is the graph of the PDF, right? This is the graph of the PDF, and this is the graph of the CDF. So here you can see CDF is what? It is a step function. It is a step non-decreasing function for the different values of the P and N. So always it ranges from the 0 to 1. Now from here, after the random variable, binomial random variate you have defined, it is the number of successes out of the n independent Bernoulli trials, right? Then we have seen what is the PDF, what is the CDF. Thereafter, we have to go for the expectation. If x is the random variable, naturally we have to go for the expected value. So let x be the binomial random variable with parameter n and p. So in this case, now we have the two parameter. Means when we say x follow the binomial distribution, so you have to specify what is the parameter. So what are the parameters? So parameters are n and p. Right. So generally we write the PDF. PDF means fx with parameter n comma p. So that is the NCX p to power x 1 minus p to power n minus x. So this is the correct way to write, so that we are specifying the pertinent parameter for the binomial variate. So in this case, you have to prove that MGF, moment generating function for the binomial random variable, is q plus p into e to power t power n, and the mean and variance are NP and NPQ. So here, what is the by definition we will go. So MGF means we denote it by the MXT. So what is this? This is the expectation of e to power tx. So by definition, so for all x, means from the x is equal to 0 to n, it is the e to power tx and into fx. That is our basic formula, right? So it will become x is equal to 0 to n e to power tx. Now it is the NCX p to power x 1 minus p to power n minus x. It is the PDF for the binomial variate. Then after, this can be written as x is equal to 0 to n, and this can be written as NCX p e to power t x 1 minus p to power n minus x. This we can write. This is nothing. This is the binomial expansion of 1 minus p plus p e to power t power n. Right? It is the binomial expansion of this. So this can also be written as q plus p e to power t power n, where q is what? 1 minus p. That is the probability of failure. This is nothing. It is the probability of failure. If p is the probability of the success, then q will be the probability of the failure. So this is the MGF for the binomial variate. And from the MGF, you know, we can determine any order movement. So if you have to determine the mean and variance, so for the mean and variance, we require the first order movement and second order movement. So how we can determine? So for that, first we have to compute the d by dt of the MXT. So from here, what is the d by dt of the MXT? N into q plus p e to power t power n minus 1. then derivative of the p into e to power t, that is the p e to power t. That is the first derivative. Similarly, if you have to compute the second derivative of the mxt, so it will become, right, this for a moment, just we solve this, n into p and q plus p e to power t n minus 1 e to power t. This will become, so n into p, right? Now, first derivative of the first function, that is the n minus 1 q plus p e to power t power n minus 2, then p e to power t. That is the derivative of the first function, and e to power t already there. Plus first function as it is q plus p e to power t n minus 1, derivative of e to power t is the e to power t. That is the second derivative. Now, if you have to compute the ex, mean, so what is this? This is the dy dt of mxt at t is equal to 0. So here we write the t is equal to 0, and here we write the np and q plus p e to power t n minus 1 e to power t. This only. So when we put the t equal to 0, it will become np q plus p power n minus 1 and e to power 0, that is the 1. This will come, and q plus p is what? It is the 1, and 1 to power n minus 1, that is 1. So it will give you np. It will be the np. Similarly, if you put the ex square, what is the ex square from the mgf? It is the second derivative of mxt at t is equal to 0. So here we write the second derivative, right? Here I write the second derivative, and second derivative we have written here. So just you write the here this second derivative. So when we put the t is equal to 0, so t is equal to 0, what you will get? Here you will have np. Now in bracket we have the n minus 1, then q plus p to power n minus 2, q plus p to power n minus 2, and then we have the p only, p plus q plus p power n minus 1, and e to power 0 is 0 or 1. So this will be the, just you put the t is equal to 0. So q plus p is equal to 1. So here we have the np and n minus 1 into p plus 1. Clear? So this will become n minus 1 p square plus np. This is your right. This is your ex square. So from here, if you have to compute the variance of x, so what is the variance of x? Variance of x is e of x square minus square of ex. So ex square, just now we have computed it as a n into n minus 1 p square plus np, right? Plus or minus square of ex. Square of ex is what? N into p. Ex is what? N into p. So this will give you n square p square minus np square plus np minus n square p square. So n square p square is cancelled out. So from these two, np if you will take common, here we have the 1 minus p, and 1 minus p is what? It is the q. So np q. So from here we have seen this is the mxt is equal to q plus p e to power t power n, and ex is equal to np Vx is equal to npq. That is the mean and variance for the binomial variate. So here we have the derivative for the same. Now find the mean and variance of the binomial variate with parameter n and p by definition. So you have to compute the mean and variance by definition. It's important thing, not available in book. So please see carefully. So Ex by definition is what? Summation for all x, x into fx. This is the general formula. For the binomial variate, it is given to you. It is given to you that x follow the binomial distribution with parameter n comma p. So it will become x is equal to 0 to n for all x. X, what is the fx? Ncx, p to power x, 1 minus p to power n minus x. That can be written as summation x is equal to 0 to n x. This ncx can be written as, n choose x can be written as factorial n, factorial x, factorial n minus x, p to power x, 1 minus p to power n minus x. So this can be written as, for our convenience, we write it as a x is equal to 0 to n x. This factorial n can be written as n into factorial n minus 1. Factorial x can be written as x into factorial of x minus 1, and factorial of n minus x can be written as n minus minus x minus 1. And p to power x can be written as p into p to power x minus 1, and 1 minus p power n minus x can be written as n minus 1 minus x minus 1. This we can write. There is no change. Now what is the benefit? You can cancel this x with the x. So generally avoid to cancel at this place, right? Please take care. Please don't cancel at this place. Just in the other line you write the x is equal to 1 to n, 1 to n. Now n minus 1 upon factorial of x minus 1. Because when we cancel the x from in the above step, so what will happen? Then it will be the summation x from x equal to 0. So when we put the x equal to 0, this will give you factorial of negative, and factorial of negative is undefined. So instead of cancelling, here I am just showing you to cancel, but you have not to show in the exam. You have not to show, otherwise you will get the negative, right? Otherwise you will get the negative factorial. So in the next step, just you start the x from the 1. So when we start the x from the 1, so 1 to n factorial of x minus 1. So now there is no ambiguity in definition of the factorial. And here we have the n minus 1 minus x minus 1, p to power x minus 1, 1 minus p to power n minus 1 minus x minus 1. Right? Now let x minus 1 is equal to y. So when we have this, so now the summation will start from y is equal to 0 to n minus 1. When we put x minus 1 as a y, so your summation will start from y is equal to 0 to n minus 1, and here you can take n outside and p outside. So what is the inside? Here we have the n factorial of n minus 1. Here we have the factorial of y. Here we have the factorial of n minus 1 minus y. And p you have taken outside. So when we take the p outside, inside we have the p to power y and 1 minus p to power n minus 1 minus y. So this can be written as np summation y is equal to 0 to n minus 1, 0 to n minus 1, and this can be written as n minus 1 choose y, n minus 1 choose y, p to power y, 1 minus p to power n minus 1 minus y. So what is the benefit? Benefit of this is you can write, this is nothing, this is the binomial expansion. So you can write it as a p plus 1 minus p power n minus 1. Now what is the bracket? Bracket is the 1. So it is the p 1 to power n minus 1, that will give you np. So here the ex is equal to np. Right? Any doubt in this part? Only you have to take care at this step.
Sir,
Yes.
sir, can you explain that cutting part again?
Actually, what I'm saying that if you cancel this, na, so what is the remaining expression? Remaining expression will be the divide by the factorial x minus 1. And here the summation will be the summation start from the x is equal to 0. So when we put the 0, so it will give you factorial of minus 1. And factorial of minus 1 is undefined. But in the next step, to show the cancellation, we have started this summation from the x is equal to 1. Because x is equal to 0, whatever the step of the x is equal to 0, that is not now coming in the picture. Now, we have to compute the variance. Huh?
So we can also differentiate that binomial part to get this.
That can be, that can be the another approach.
So what happened of the zero part that you have neglected?
No, actually, when we are actually whatever the 0 part that we are cancelling na here. Whatever here the x equal to 0, that part is cancelling. We are cancelling this part. Due to that only we are doing this change.
Okay.
Now we have to compute the variance of x. Variance of x is what? E of x square minus square of ex. So for that we have to compute the e of x square. So e of x square, when we have to compute, it can be written as e of x square minus x plus x. That is not problem. And expectation follow the linear property. So x square minus x plus e of x, that we can write. It means it is nothing, it is the e of x into x minus 1 plus e of x. So first we compute the e of x into x minus 1. So by definition, it is what? Summation for all x into x minus 1 into fx. This we can write. So for the binomial variate, this will become x is equal to 0 to n x into x minus 1 ncx p to power x 1 minus p to power n minus x, which can be written as summation x is equal to 0 to n x 1 minus x factorial n upon factorial x factorial of n minus x p to power x 1 minus p to power n minus x, which can be modified as x is equal to 0 to n x minus 1. Now numerator factorial n can be written as n into n minus 1 factorial of n minus 2. Factorial x can be written as x into x minus 1 factorial of x minus 2. And factorial n minus x can be written as n minus 2 minus x minus 2. And p to power x can be written as p square p to power x minus 2, and 1 minus p power can be written as n minus 2 minus x minus 2. So what is the benefit? You can cancel the x and x minus 1. So as I have told you, please please don't cancel at this step. Directly you start your summation from x is equal to 2 to n, and this can be written as n minus 1 factorial of n minus 2 upon factorial of x minus 2. Now there is no negative factorial, and factorial of n minus 2 minus x minus 2, and p square p to power x minus 2 1 minus p to power n minus 2 minus x minus 2. So from here n minus 1 p square we can take common inside, or one more step you can do. Let x minus 2 is equal to y. Let x minus 2 is equal to y. So this will give you y is equal to 0 to n minus 2. N minus 2 factorial of n minus 2 upon factorial of y factorial of n minus 2 minus y p to power y 1 minus p to power n minus 2 minus y. So it is what? n minus 1 p square, and this is what? Y is equal to 0 to n minus 2, n minus 2 choose y p to power y 1 minus p to power n minus 2 minus y. So it is the n minus 1 p square, and this is what? This is the binomial expansion of what? P plus 1 minus p power n minus 2. And what is this bracket? Bracket is the 1. So this will become n minus 1 p square 1 to power n minus 2. N minus 2, so it will give you 1 only. So 1 n minus 1 into p square. So this is what? This is the e of x into x minus 1. But for the variance you require the ex square. So ex square is what? E of x into x minus 1 plus ex. So ex already we have computed. So from here ex square is what? E of x into x minus 1 plus e of x. That is the n into n minus 1 p square plus np. So now this is the value of the ex square. So from the ex square we can write the variance of x. What is that? That is the ex square minus square of ex. Square of ex. So this will become n minus 1 p square plus np minus np whole square. So that will give you n square p square minus np square plus np minus n square p square. So n square p square is cancelled out. So here we have the np, if you will take common, 1 minus p, that is the npq. So that is the approach. Means you must know the both approach for computing the mean and variance by definition and through the MGF. Now CDF. So for the CDF it is very hard to determine the closed form of closed form formula. So as I have told you, we have the table. So in your book we have the table in the appendix, table A.1. So here you can see we have the table like this, right? We have the table like this. So at this place we have the different values of the p, different values of the p. So here you write the different values of the p, right? This is the heading, and here we have the n value. So let n is equal to 15 and p is equal to 20. If you have to determine, let x follow the binomial distribution with n is equal to 15 and p is equal to 0.20, let's say, and you have to determine what is the f at 4. F at 4 means probability x less than equal to 4. So directly from the table you can see that its value is the 0.8358. Its value is the 0.8358. So from here directly you can write the value of the required CDF. So in all the books, for the different values of n and different values of the p, we have such table. So directly from the table you can write the CDF. Otherwise, what you have to do? For this, what you have to do? What is the meaning of the probability x? What is the meaning of the F4? F4 is the probability x less than equal to 4. That is the probability x is equal to 0 plus probability x is equal to 1 plus probability x is equal to 4. And from here, what we have to write? 15C0 p to power 0 1 minus p to power 15 minus 0. That is the x is equal to 0 plus 15C1 p to power 1 minus p to power 15 minus 1 plus plus 15C4 p to power 4 1 minus p to power 15 minus 4. So it is little tedious for the different value. If you have to compute, it is little tedious. So we have the compiled table for the CDF. So from that you can write directly. So from the CDF, just few example I have to cover. So from the CDF, we can find the density. So fx is what? It is the general formula for the discrete random variable. And if you want to determine the required probability that x between the a to b, so it is what? Fb minus f of the a minus 1. So let us understand from question. When circuit board used in manufacture of the compact disc player are tested, the long run percentage of the defective is 5%. Let x be number of the defective boards in a random sample of size n is equal to 20. So the x follow the binomial distribution with n is equal to 25, p is equal to 0.05 because 5% is defective. Determine the value of x less than equal to 2, x greater than equal to 5, p when x lie between 1 and 4. What is the probability that none of 25 board is defective? Calculate the expected value and standard deviation. So just you have to see the table. It is given to you x follow the binomial distribution with n is equal to 25, p is equal to 0.05. So you have to determine the p of x less than equal to 2, means you have to see the value at x is equal to 2, f of 2. So it is the capital B. Capital B means it denote the CDF. CDF for the n is equal to 25, p is equal to 0.05. So tabular value directly it is the 0.873. So probability of x greater than equal to 5, that can be written as 1 minus probability x less than equal to 4. So when we see the table value, its table value is the 0.993. So you can compute the required probability. Probability when x lie between 1 to 4. So it is nothing. It is the probability x less than equal to 4 minus probability of x less than equal to 0. Means it is nothing. It is the f4 minus f of 0. So from the table value, its values are, these values are 0.993 minus 0.277. So you can write the required probability 0.716. The probability for the no defective means x is equal to 0. X is equal to 0 means it is nothing. It is the f0. So f0 from the table, its value is the 0.277. So what is the expected value of the defective? That is the n into p. N is 25, p is 0.05. So on an average, 1.25 items are defective. What is the variance? NPQ. NPQ means n is equal to 25, p is equal to 0.5, and q is equal to 0.95. So it is the variance, and is positive square root of the variance is the standard deviation. So if you compute the positive square root of 1.1875, So you will get the standard deviation. A toll bridge charges $1 for the passenger cars and $2.50 for the other vehicle. Suppose that during daytime hours, 60% of all vehicles are passenger car. Means we have the dichotomous population, either the passenger car, non-passenger car, or non-passenger vehicle. So we have the dichotomous population, and probability of success is given to you as a 0.60 because 60% is of the passenger car. If 25 vehicles cross the bridge during a particular daytime period, n is equal to 25, what is the resulting expected total revenue? So here we define the binomial variate x as a number of passenger car. So as we say number of passenger car, it means x follow the binomial distribution with n is equal to 25, p is equal to 0.6, 60%. So p is equal to 0.6. So from here, from this random variable, we define the function of revenue. Function of revenue. So what is the function of revenue? You are getting $1 from the passenger car and $2.25 from the remaining one. So let's say number of passenger car is equal to x and non-passenger car is equal to 25 minus x. So total revenue will be the value into generally like this we compute. So hx is equal to 1 into x plus 2.25 into 25 minus x. So on solving you will get the 62.5 minus 1.5 into x. So when we have to compute the expected value of revenue, so expected value of hx. So expected value of hx means we have to compute the expected value of 62.5 minus 1.5x, and it follow the linear property. So it will become the 62.5 minus 1.5 expected value of x, right? That is the thing. And what is the expected value of x? If x follow the binomial distribution, it is the n into p. So when we put the n into p, it is equal to, so it will give you 62.5 minus 1.5 into 25 into 6. So total revenue is the $40 in particular hour. Last part, if here what we have seen, we have the n means number of trials. If I say n is equal to 1, so it will become the point binomial. So point binomial means n is equal to 1. Now you are repeating only one trial. In the one trial, what can be the result? Result can be either the success or failure only. And what is this? X, I am saying that x follow the binomial distribution with n is equal to 1 and any probability p. So it is nothing. This is the equivalent to the Bernoulli, right? In the Bernoulli also we do the same thing. Bernoulli distribution with parameter p. So point binomial is nothing. It is the Bernoulli distribution, right? Point binomial is nothing. It is the Bernoulli distribution. So here you have seen what is the fx, fx n comma p for the binomial. It is the ncx p to power x 1 minus p to power n minus x. Now if I say n is equal to 1, and here we have the x is equal to 0, 1, 2 up to n. So if I say n is equal to 1, so what it will become? fxp, right? 1cx p to power x 1 minus p to power 1 minus x. X can take the value either the 0 or 1. So when we 1c0 1c1 both is equal to 1 only, so it will become p to power x 1 minus p to power 1 minus x, and x is equal to 0 comma 1. So that is only the PMF for the Bernoulli distribution. and mxt for the binomial is q plus p e to power t power n. When n is equal to 1, n is equal to 1, so this will give you q plus p e to power t only. That is the mgf for the Bernoulli distribution. ex for the binomial distribution is the np when n is equal to 1. So ex for the Bernoulli will become the p. That is true. Similarly, variance of x for the binomial distribution is the npq, and when we put n is equal to 1, so variance of Bernoulli variate or point binomial will become the pq, that you have seen in the previous lecture. So binomial is nothing, it is the generalization of the Bernoulli. Right? So just last example. For fixed n, are there value of p between 0 and 1 for which vx is equal to 0? Explain why this is so. For the fixed n, are there value of p for which vx is equal to 0? So when we say vx is equal to 0, it means what is the formula? When we say vx is equal to 0, np 1 minus p, it is equal to 0. So n cannot be 0. So this implies either p is equal to 0 or 1 minus p is equal to 0. So this implies p is equal to 1. P is equal to 0 or p is equal to 1. What is the p is equal to 0 meaning? P is equal to 0 means all success. All success. And what is the meaning of the p is equal to 0? All failure. So when there is all failure, then we say we have the variance 0, right? If p is equal to 0, so when every trial is failure or every trial is success, then only the variance is equal to 0. And in the second part, for what value of the p variance is maximized? So if you want to maximize the variance, so you know that variance of x is equal to what? np 1 minus p. So for maximize, you know that dvy dp must equal to 0 by the calculus. By calculus, you know dv by dt is equal to 0 or d variance is equal to 0. So when we compute the d variance by dp, so it will give you n 1 minus p, right? Derivative of the first function plus np and minus 1, and we put it is equal to 0. So here we have the n minus np minus np is equal to 0. So the n and n cancel out. So it will become p is equal to half. So for the p is equal to half, we have the maximized variance. So that's all for the today. In next class, we will start the hypergeometric distribution.
Sir, can you upload the recorded lectures today itself? So we can finish
Okay.
watching it in the weekend.
Right. No problem.
Okay,
I
sir.
will upload.
Thank you, sir.
And this example, you please read yourself. Right. I will give in the PDF. You can understand. Otherwise, in next class, I will repeat.
Sir,
Yes.
sir, do we have to do the derivations which you have explained today, or just
Yes.
the results,
Yes. You have to do.
or just
have to
results
learn-
we have to achieve? We have to.
No. You have to learn the derivative.
Okay, sir.
If you want, I can send the notes copy also, notes PDF.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Upload that tab notes also.
Yes, sir. Tab notes.
That I will upload.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
Yes. Any other doubt?
Thank you, sir.
Yes, welcome.